afternoon.
Are there certain traits rookie wide receivers have in terms of how to bring them along in their transition to the league, what they all kind of represent?
That's a great question. I think everyone's learning curve is different in this league, and whether you're a rookie or a 10-year veteran, there's a lot that we all can get better from and continue to learn from. And so, for a young guy, I think it's really, really exciting because there's a lot to learn. There's a lot they don't know, and there's a lot of room for growth and improvement. So we have some young guys on this team, on this offense, and those guys are learning and growing. It's just that they're learning kind of like I did when I was a rookie, learning in front of the world. I mean, that's really what it is. And, you make those mistakes or whatever you may call it in front of the world, and you learn from it. But, a lot of other young guys, they get to learn in practice before they actually hit the field on game day. And so, I think the traits are you just got to study and you got to work hard. And I think those guys are doing a great job. Jack and I, we're watching film 6 a.m. every morning, in order to get that done. And I think there's going to be a lot of progress that is made.
Geno, how's the quad? How are you feeling after a few days of rest?
I feel a lot better. Alex Guerrero, training staff, they've done a great job at just staying on top of it, and obviously not completely healed yet, but feels a lot better.
Geno, there's been losses here, multiple, where it's just the smallest details.
Mm-hmm.
What's the lesson in that? What's the challenge to make sure that those things aren't happening?
Shoot, man, you can only learn so much from like a loss. I really think that the lesson is that you gotta make the play when the play needs to be made, and that goes for all of us. And myself, more importantly, I just gotta make the plays and allow the guys to be themselves. And for me, again, it's a small margin of error in the NFL, and one play could be the difference in the game. But that's why you got to focus throughout the entire game. And when the plays are there to be made, you got to make them. I mean, that's the name of the game.
Logan Wilson hasn't played for the Cowboys yet, but as you prepare for them, do you go back and look at Cincinnati tape, or do you look more schemes with what the Cowboys do defensively?
Yeah, I mean, you start with what the Cowboys do in their scheme. They've got a lot of other players that we've got to make sure that we have an eye out for. But yeah, Logan Wilson. They just acquired Quentin Williams, a guy who I played against a bunch, and a great defensive tackle in this league. He's been a perennial All-Pro, perennial Pro Bowler, and for those guys, of course, I'm going to watch the Cowboys, but I'm also going to go back and watch what they've done in their past, and just try to see how they can fit into the scheme. Again, we'll have to see on game day what it is, but I think we have a good idea of what they'll be in.
How much has Tyler brought to the team in the offense since he's gotten here, and how much has he, if at all, kind of filled a void with Jacoby being outgoing?
Yeah, I mean, I don't think you can ever fill that void. I think Jacoby was just such a special guy, and he did a lot around here, and he was well respected in the locker room, and guys really loved him. Tyler's his own person, and again, Tyler is a veteran who's played a lot of football. He's caught a lot of passes. He understands defenses. And I think that will help the younger guys. If you look at Tyler, he's not the most, he's the most unassuming guy. You wouldn't look at him and say he's had all the success he's had on the football field, but he's done it because he can play from the neck up, and that's where we want to get everybody to that level where they understand the game and can be quarterback friendly and play from the neck up as well.
You've been open about, though, that you two are close, and I think you said, hey, he has some juice left. How nice has it been? What's it felt like then to kind of bring that out of him already in the short term? He's your leading receiver last week.
Yeah, I mean, he's always going to make the play when the play needs to be made. I mean, that's Tyler Lockett. It's been his entire career where he's always been in the right spots. He understands where the holes are in the defense. And then he catches the ball. He gets open and catches the ball. I mean, that's the number one rule for a receiver. And, again, he's a guy, along with the other guys who we just want to give him the ball when the time's right. But we've got to continue to spread the ball around and get the ball into the hands of all of our playmakers. I think, Tyler's a guy who's gonna help this offense really, down the stretch.
Geno, I was wondering, for these final 8 games, what are you hoping to see out of offense, or even with yourself during this final stretch?
I gotta cut it loose, man. Just don't think, think too much. Just go out there and cut it loose, play your game. Protect the football first and foremost. I want, the last 8 games of the season, I want to be the best in the league in terms of protecting the football. I mean, that's really what it is. And then just cut it loose, man. We got to score points. We got to score a lot more points than we have. We got to pick it up. I know I've been saying, we got to learn and grow together, which is true. But, now's around the time where it should start to show up on game day. And so, I want to go out there and I want to play, really, really good football and take care of the football, take care of the team, put points on the board, give the defense, a lead to work with and watch those guys go hunt.
Geno, what has it been like for you embracing the leadership role as the starting quarterback with this team amid the struggling start of the season?
I think that's the best way to lead. Sometimes, when things are going great, it's easy to be a leader, but when things don't go as expected, when you have some hard lessons and you got to learn some things, that's where the leaders show up. And for me, I feel like I'm at my best when my back's against the wall. I wouldn't say that's the case now, but I just feel like when things are at its toughest, I just have this way about myself that I dig deep and I find a way, and I've always done that, and I don't see this as no different.
How do you feel like you and Chip have worked together?
It's been a great relationship. Again, if we make some more plays on the field, I think he'll be a lot more happy as well. But it's been a great relationship. He's a great coach. He does a lot of really good things, and he's been calling some great games. If we go out there and execute the way that we're supposed to, it'll show up on, the things that he does well will show up. But we got to make sure that we go out there and make the plays for him. He's putting us in position to make those plays, and we got to make them.
Dante had that rough drop that he was pretty tough on himself about it after the game in Denver. What have you seen from him in practice and talked to him about since?
He did exactly what I expected him to. When he got back, he was out in the field and he was catching those over the shoulder passes by himself. And I know again how tough that can be when you want to make the plays, when you want to do well. He works so hard and he does all the little things right. And those are plays that he's going to make, and I'm going to continue to throw him the ball and give him opportunities to make those plays because he's going to be a great player. He's so young, and he's continuing to learn and to grow into his NFL body. And the more he goes out there and gets those reps, the better he'll be. I'm going to keep throwing him the ball. He's doing the right things, and he's staying focused, and he's going to make those plays when it counts.
The Cowboys run a lot of 5-down fronts. I'm just curious what makes it unique about facing a team that does a lot of that.
Yeah, similar to what we faced in our last game. They have, obviously they just, traded for Kenny Clark, and then they got Quentin Williams. They paid Osa. So those are the three of their, great guys on the interior. They want to put them on the field, and so, those guys, they present a lot of challenges up front. They're all great players in their own right. But we got to, that's every week in the NFL, and we got to hold up front, block those guys up front. We got to dominate the line of scrimmage, and then, the playmakers got to make plays when it counts.
All right. Thanks, guys.
Thanks, Geno.